Race 2 for the Protech Shocks Sports Special Championship is about to get underway. Paul Boyd still hasn't got his car together, which is a crying shame, but it actually leaves Clive Hudson second on the grid again. You've got a front row all to yourself. Can you make it into that first corner on your own?
Well, I didn't for the last. We had 2 starts in the first race today, thanks to red flags, and I didn't make it into the first corner either time. So yeah, I didn't have it all my own way. It was quite good fun, but yeah, you wouldn't want it to be lonely either.
No, not at all. And the track's cooling down now. Is that going to increase the grip?
Probably. Although the low costs have just been out, so who knows?
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully, we'll see you on the podium.
Look forward to it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So with that, race 2 heading your way. Andy McEwen.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. So a shame that we don't have Paul Boyd again on the front row. So Clive Hudson on his own, ahead of Matthew Booth and the fast-starting Martin Gambling, then John Moore and Rob Johnston next in line. They start this one based upon their second fastest lap times from qualifying in the morning. So it's a similar grid to the one that we had for race 1. The main difference at the sharp end being that we have had the swap around between Matthew Booth and Martin Gambling, who shared the second row in race 1, but Booth was 4th and Gambling was 3rd, and it was Gambling that led into the first corner. Let's see what happens this time then, as race number 2 for the Protech Shocks Sports Specials gets underway. Away we go, and it's Booth this time that makes the best start from row 2, but look at Rob Johnston. Rob Johnston comes carving through and had ideas of going for the lead, and only to find a three-way roadblock in front of him, so Booth will lead through Paddock. Second, Hudson, side by side then the third, with Johnson on the inside of Martin Gambling, all the pushing and shoving on the brakes here. It's all getting very close for comfort indeed. Up in front, you can see that Hudson runs a bit deep on the brakes towards Druid, manages to hang on to second place, but Rob Johnston, with a rocket ship launch from 6th on the grid, had a chance there maybe to go for the race lead, but it just didn't quite pay out. He's there in 4th position now as they dive down in towards Surtees for the first time of asking. Side by side there, very nearly for Rob Johnston. That's the number 6 machine trying to get on the inside of John Moore. They shared the 3rd row together actually. And then it's the pink car of Stuart Much, the first of the MX 150Rs, next in line, sideways there, out on the dirt for John Moore. And we heard Clive Hudson alluding to it pre-race, well, Mickey Scott, unfortunately, coming to the pit lane in his MX 150R, presumably to retirement. But we heard Clive Hudson mentioning in the assembly area pre-race that we've had lots of other races, but late in the day here at Brands Hatch. And so although the ambient temperature, and therefore the track temperature, is cooling, that should give increased grip levels. All of the other races that have taken place today, you know, there'll be dirt and debris and tyre, you know, rubber from the tyres that's been discarded all over the track. So if you get off line, it will be very slippery indeed. And I think we just saw an example of that there. Back out along the Cooper Straight goes this 3-way fight that's going on for 3rd place. Matthew Booth still leading, by the way. Clive Hudson is breathing down his neck, but not actually yet been able to find a way through. Matthew Booth, who slipped all the way down to 9th place in race 1, which was a bit of a mystery, really. Not quite sure why that happened, but something happened clearly on that short 2-lap restart that put Matthew Booth out of contention. But there, well, that's not him. That is the number 74 machine of Stephen Wells that we're watching there, dicing away with Kevin Dengate. But Matthew Boyd is still leading the race, which is good to see. Back down through Paddock Hill Bend they go. Dengate on the inside now, trying to get ahead of Stephen Wells. Dengate started 7th and Wells started 13th, so either Wells had a really good start to be racing with Dengate, or Dengate had a bad start. I'd suggest possibly the latter, because Dengate looks like he's really on a mission to try and pick his way through. He's found a way past the 74 car now, Stephen Wells. The next man to do so is Liam, who of course prompted the first of our red flags in race 1 when he lost it. This section of track coming up, braking in towards Clearway. It's very easy to do because you're braking on a turn, it's uphill, so you get tempted to carry a little bit more speed into the corner than you should. And of course it levels out and actually goes downhill deceptively steeply. The camera doesn't really do that descent down through Clearways and Clark Curve justice. Likewise, the descent at Paddock Hill Bend catches your attention, and that's where they're headed next. Liam in the tow, trying to find a way through, if at all possible. Liam racing his low cost that he's raced in the low cost championship for several seasons, trying to find a way past the SEWC Sub-Zero of Stuart Wells, who defends the inside line. Both of these cars Caterer type machines, the lower costs to buy and run them. This is the FRS Arrows. Different, and this is John Moore on his own actually for the time being. He's just losing touch with the 3 in front of him. Still haven't in the same order. They have a Hudson ahead of Johnston. Oh, and of course, Martin Gambling in there as well. So that's 4th place there, sorry, 5th place for Booth. As he comes across the start-finish line there, the pink machine of Stuart Much is still behind him. A good run is Stuart this weekend. Battling our lead battle alone, yes, there you can see it is Gambling who's actually applying the pressure to Matthew Booth. So where is Hudson? Has Hudson found a way through, or has Clive Hudson disappeared, I wonder? Let's see if we can find out. Now, we believe that Clive Hudson has pulled into retirement, so this is the battle for the lead. It is Booth that leads the way. It's Gambling in second, but it's Gambling in the gravel trap. Oh, a bit too wide there out of clearways. Got 2 wheels on the dirt, and then the road just keeps on going right, and that sucks you ever further off the road. He did well to hang on to that and not get buried in the gravel. He did even better to hang on to 2nd place, but he's lost quite a few ground to the race leader. Booth does lead the way, and these are the top 3 cars. So Booth from Gambling, from Johnston, and of course championship-wise, Clive Hudson and Paul Boyd came into this weekend as the 2 favourites. Well, Paul Boyd is not going to score a single point because he may have qualified on pole position, but he hasn't taken part in either of the races after crashing out qualifying. And Clive Hudson, yes, he won the 1st race, he's not going to finish race 2, so that opens the door for the likes of Gambling and Booth, and maybe even Rob Johnston, who returns to the championship having missed racing with the 72 last season. There is Rob Johnston, the orange number 82 Sienna Mark II. Good to have Rob back, and he's always a front runner in the Protech Shock Sports Specials Championship, has been for years. But, in fact, he was a championship contender last time he raced was in 2016. Missed the season last year. Missed the racing line there for Panic Bend. Sideways. Here's John Moore on board with him as he makes his way through the Palmersport Bridge towards Druids. The apex there, and come back. Drop downhill steeply, the car off there to the right-hand side of the road, run out of Druids and down towards Graham Bend. And I think that was Ben Coles in car number 7. So Ben Coles, unfortunately, looks like he's going to be retirement as well in his FRS Arrow. Same car, of course, as John Moore drives. Back towards the front of the field now. That's Andy Hiley, blue. Number 53 Kronos Mark II, chasing down the pink MX-150R ahead of him with Stuart Much. 2 vastly contrasting shapes of cars here. The sleek and streamlined Kronos against the boxy sort of roll cage on wheels, which is the MX-150R, but it's an incredibly lightweight machine and very, very rapid indeed. A great track day car, and being raced competitively here in the Protech Shock Sports Specials. Double wave yellows, that will be as a result of Ben Cole's stricken car off to the side of the road just there. Marshall's in attendance, busily trying to move it out of the way. Right, this is the race lead battle, which is still raging, and it is still Matthew Booth who has this race lead. Martin Gambling, though, has closed back in now. Remember, he had that gravelly moment at Clearways 3 or 4 laps ago. He's right back with Matthew now, though, in his MK Indy. And can he move through and make it 2 wins from 2 for the Eclipses after Hudson won race 1 in his Eclipse? What can Gambling do, though? Always looking to the inside into Druids, late on the brakes, very late on the brakes. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the 2 of them, is there? Prizes the door open, side by side again on the exit of the turn, but the next corner's a left-hander, there's more contact, more contact. Matthew Booth didn't appreciate that. He's back on the inside into Graham Hill Bend, and he retakes the race lead. Fantastic racing, and they're getting their elbows out well and truly here. Matthew, I don't think will have appreciated that late lunge up the inside there from Gambling at Druids, and he was determined that he wasn't going to give the inside line back away in towards Graham Hill Bend. Cracking battle for the race lead this is, though. Back out through the right-hander at Clearways onto the pit straight. Now, what's the straight line speed like? You would imagine the Eclipse with its more streamlined aerodynamics might be a little bit quicker in a straight line, but look at that, there's absolutely nothing to choose between them. So we have a real toe-to-toe race here. A battle of the drivers rather than the battle of the cars. Booth runs wide at Paddock Hill Bend. He leaves the door wide open this time, and Gambling will not hesitate one moment to get up the inside line, and this time goes through, but then he runs wide on the exit. Booth gets the switch back over the curb. He's on the outside line now down into Graham Hill Bend, but that could become the inside on the exit if he plays his cards right. No, Gambling has made it stick this time. Well, there can be no complaints on that occasion from Matthew Booth that was robust driving, because he made the mistake. He missed the apex at Paddock Hill Bend, and Martin Gambling was able to take full advantage, but now Gambling's out of shape. Oh, Martin Gambling is off on the grass. I don't believe it, having just taken over the race lead. And Martin Gambling throws it all away at the very next sequence of corners. He will be furious with himself inside the cockpit of that Eclipse SM1. And while he rejoins, I'm fairly sure that Rob Johnston has gone through, so he might still be third. But John Moore is not far behind him either. Martin Gambling, well, after all that hard work to get the lead away, and he just carried a bit too much speed through Surtees, got sideways, and then the moment continued until he ran out of road. So on board with Mikey Scott, that's the leader in front of us who just was a lap down. Behind us is Rob Johnston, in fact, inside of us is Rob Johnston, who has now moved through into second place and is lapping quicker than the leader. So this race isn't over yet. There's a chance in the remaining couple of minutes here that Johnston will close in on Matthew Booth potentially. But Martin Gambling will be kicking himself. He's led both races this weekend at some point, but not for very long on either occasion, less than a lap in fact on each occasion. So not been a particularly productive day for Gambling. Pace is there, there's no doubt about that. Here going on a bit further down the order, making its way up the hill towards the right-hander of Drury's. That's the number 38 car defending the inside line. That's Bridget Smart in the silver, and then number 44 trying to find a way through is Marcus Roskill, who is racing another silver, so a pair of silver Phoenixes here, back outside the top 15, but and they're about to go a lap down to the race leader by the looks of it, Matthew Booth, who will be looking to try and move through quickly because he doesn't have a huge margin over Rob Johnston in second place, and getting tangled up with back markers at this late stage is the last thing that he wants. Gets a nice run though out of clearways. Blue flags are being waved to try and assist the race leader in his job. The blue flag telling the drivers going a lap down that they need to move out of the way. Indeed, Booth does go through. There's Rob Johnston. Rob doesn't get quite the same sort of gentlemanly treatment by the back markers. In fact, he goes up the inside there of Bridget Smart, around the outside where Marcus Roskill to gain the place. So an example there of how, as a back marker, you can use being lapped to your advantage in some ways and try and maybe gain an advantage in whatever battle that you're having. Here's this battle we were documenting earlier on. Stuart Much and Andy Hiley. Andy Hiley is in front now. No, I beg your pardon, no he's not. He's ahead of Kevin Dengate. He's still behind Stuart Much as they go through onto the final lap of the race because the leaders have already put this lot a lap down. And Matthew Booth with a handy advantage over second place man Rob Johnston. Not a huge one, but Kevin Dengate goes wide in the background there. There in Martin Gambling in third. You saw the red machine. So this is 4th, 5th and 6th. Back out of Druids in towards Graham Hill Bend for the final time in an entertaining pair of races here at Brands Hatch. And, oh, what's going on there? Martin Gambling. Martin Gambling slowing out of Graham Hill Bend from third position. Martin Gambling, well, this looks like mechanical rather than drive forever. Anyway, the leader has gone through in all of the confusion to take the race victory, and it's a win for Matthew Booth, but in rather peculiar circumstances. Rob Johnston in second, and John Moore will come home in third, but it's Matthew Booth the winner, second for Johnston, third for Moore, fourth is Nigel Brown, fifth Stuart Much, sixth Andy Hiley, seventh Kevin Dengate, and eighth for Martin Gambling after slowing on the last lap. Stephen Wells and Liam round out the top 10 ahead of Gary Davidson, Russell Clark, Leighton Norris, Marcus Roskill and Bridget Smart, then Mickey Scott, Alan Robinson and Ian Ingram were the last remaining finishes. We lost Ben Coles and Clive Hudson, plus Paul Boyd, Ollie Samways, Colin Childs, Martin Buckland, Colin Benham and Mark Hextall, all of whom didn't start the race.
Well, Matthew, it's your first victory here at Brands Hatch. It's your favourite circuit. You've got to be happy.
Yeah, especially after this morning. We're terrible race coming ninth and all that issues, and then to have it finish like this, it's just been amazing. Yeah, brilliant.
So talk us through, because it wasn't easy, that race.
No, I know Clive's very quick round here. Looking at his qualifying times, he's like miles ahead of everybody, so I knew I had to get stuck in and try and get past him as fast as I could before I could make that break, and managed to do that. And yeah, then I think he went off, but then I got a bit of a gap, but then the next Eclipse were coming, so I couldn't let off. Then he eventually got me, but I knew I had to keep that pressure on him, and then he made the mistake, so ended up Doing all right there, didn't I? Yeah, I'm happy with that.
You got a huge smile on your face.
Yeah.
The sun's shining. Go and enjoy it.
Cheers, thanks.
Rob, you've jumped a spot on the podium to second. It was third earlier on, but talk us through that race. It was tough.
It was tough. I got a good start, but just got blocked. So there was nowhere for me to go, so I had to sort of back out of the run. And then, yeah, we just sort of sat in fourth place for a couple of laps, and Clive made a mistake, went off, and then it was just trying to just sort of peg back what I just sort of lost out on being blocked at the start. And yeah, I was trying to keep Matthew honest. I was pushing hard. We were both running equal that time, so it was a really good race, and really glad to get back out racing again.
Yeah, and with Protech being such a short circuit itself, you've got to plan your moves way ahead.
You have, and then obviously when you get there, there's obviously sort of undulating corners, you know, blind crests, and also, yeah, condition of the track. You know, there'll be one or two sort of oil spillage throughout the weekend, so it's a little bit slippy in certain places out there.
Well done.
Thank you.